The cats of Moss Clan and Branch Clan were gathered under the light of the full moon. But this was not like the peaceful, gently boasting gatherings that they... Gatherings? What? Gatherings? Branch Star glanced across the clearing, observing as his clan mingled with Moss Clan, and brought fresh balls of moss to the sick, or delivered another beetle to the prey pile. He frowned and twitched his tail, his natural leadership irritated to see such scant offerings for so many cats. But it seemed as though, right now, beetles were all they could really find in the forest, and then the cats disappear. Wonderful. That's normal. Okay. Wild Paw. Branch Star... Wait, are you... Game? Game, do I really need to... Game? What? Three's a crowd for romance? Now, that's a plot twist of Branch Star, and Doge's decided to start a romance. Heck no. Branch Star narrowed his eyes and glanced over Lion Star's shoulder at the sudden flurry of activity by the pond where Doge... What? Crowfeather jerked his head back in surprise, stumbling slightly on his tired legs. Branch Star, why? Does this look like a camp that can support a large clan? Branch Star waved his tail, pointing to the... so close. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sims 3, the Warrior Cats Challenge. And we are here in Moss Clan today with Branch Clan still visiting and helping out. And as you guys saw, Branch Clan kind of has some plans for Crowfeather. So yes, the big reveal has happened. Crowfeather is indeed the younger brother of Branch Star. And Branch Star has decided that this is no longer a safe place for his younger brother to stay. And he wants Crowfeather to leave to go back to Branch Clan, or to Branch Clan for the first time, when they leave. And he is even willing to put the force of Branch Clan behind that to make it happen, because he is convinced it is what's best for his brother. Oh, there goes Sea Whisper. We'll have to see what she's up to. He's convinced it's what's best for his brother and wants to see it happen. So we'll have to see how that goes. Oh, fudge to the knuckles. The fact that he was also the younger brother of the Branch Clan leader, Branch Star, had been easy to ignore. At least, as long as they had both chosen to ignore... Otterslip tilted her head, her expression playful again as she looked back at her mate. Of course, I still have work to do. I take my duty as mentor as seriously as you take your duty as deputy, watching over the clan, and even helping Branch Star to pomp her dawn step like you do. Otterslip let out an amused purr, waving her tail behind her. So I need to make sure that Wildpaw is ready to take on her warrior name, but I think that will be soon. She trains hard and is an excellent fighter. You know what? We're having a little bit of a seeing through you going on here, Quail-Eye. Let's fix that. Otterslip tilted her head, her expression playful once again as she looked back at her mate. Of course, I still have a lot of work to do. I take my duty as mentor as seriously as you take your duty as deputy, watching over the clan, and even helping Branch Star to pamper. Wow, not even my Star Clan Speak episodes are safe from zombies. I think it's kind of hilarious how I have installed multiple mods to try to remove zombies entirely. I've tried to mess around with the NRAS settings, but really, what would we do? What would we do without zombies interrupting us every full moon? It just wouldn't be Warrior Cats, would it? Alright, let's get rid of her because we have questions to ask our cats. What do you mean you don't like my mushroom chair? Don't you come over here, eat my hibiscuses, and sass me about not liking my mushroom chair, zombie. I'm gonna get rid of you so much. Get out of here. Huh. Would you look at this? It's an alien. Oh gosh, well this is the top of the burger joint, but it's an alien right over here. I was trying to figure out while I was recording over in Branch Clan what was going on up in the sky, and I was like, that doesn't look like a unicorn's little rainbow cloud they get. And sure enough, it wasn't a unicorn, it's an alien who's just happening to visit. I didn't know that they would just like visit on their own without abducting anybody. What are you doing here? Well, man, if I could ever just turn that into some sort of interesting story point. But it is just so... Whoops. Plants! Wildpaw perked up at the tone in Sea Whisper's voice, glancing towards the dusky blue she-cat. Why don't you both come with me to the small field? I was thinking of heading there to... Sea Whisper glanced away, smiling, to see if I could hunt some frogs. But maybe it'd be better if you two came as well, as long as your mentors approve. Lately, there have been scents of fox in the area, so it might be safer to go together. And then get interrupted by something. What the heck? What even? Is it like love day? Excuse you game? Great, it's love day. Wonderful. Well, that's great and all, and maybe a little bit fitting considering the scene I'm trying to shoot with you, Sea Whisper, but it interrupts everything. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I misclicked because I was trying to get them to socialize again so that I could have the scene finished. But I hit something wrong. I hit something totally wrong when the Love Day notification came up. And I'm like, Sea Whisper, Wild Paw, why are you leaving? You should be still standing and socializing for this scene. And then I looked up, woohoo! How did I click that? What have I done? Is that some sort of Love Day curse? I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. We've got other plans with at least one of you. So let's resume this properly now. This is so stupid, Wildpaw hissed, batting at the salty water before her in frustration. Tiny Minnow scurried away in a frightened squeal, and further from the water, a bold lobster almost seemed to glance her way and clack his pincers in disapproval. Wildpaw let out a soft hiss at the waves in front of her, her twisted, angry mood a stark contrast to the gentle waves and warm sunlight that made up the peaceful late new leaf afternoon. Beside her, several of the Branch Clan cats were lined up on the beach, exchanging encouraging meows. Wildpaw, stop finishing Wildpaw, no! This is so stupid, Wildpaw hissed, batting at the salty water before her in frustration. Tiny Minnows scurried away in a frightened squeal, and further from the shore, a bold lobster almost seemed to glance her way and clack his pincers in disapproval. Wildpaw let out a soft hiss as the waves... At the waves. Wildpaw, Branch... You're not Branch Star! You're Crowfeather! Wildpaw, Branch Star called from down the beach, his voice firm. Pay attention and get back to work. You are not free to go hunting for those medical items until after the prey pile is full. Or is your sprained paw too much and you need to rest in the nursery with Dawnstep? Branch Star carefully pitched his voice into a teasing tone, knowing his daughter's personality as well as he knew that of her mother's, and watched from a distance as his daughter let out a frustrated yowl before turning her attention back to the waves, her tail still lashing. Branch Star... That beetle's so big! Why are you so cute? Don't crawl on Branch Star, beetle. Why? Branch Star, eat it! Like a real cat! And yet, since he had arrived in Branch Clan, Crowfeather hadn't expected things to turn out so peaceful. Branch Star had threatened to forcefully drag him down to the beach with the might of his Branch Clan warriors behind him if Crowfeather didn't willingly come, after all. Crowfeather sighed and lashed his tail again. Out of everyone in Moss Clan, Crowfeather could probably understand that confusing threat the best. Branch Star was simply trying to do what he thought was best, and once Branch Star had made up his mind on something, he would follow through with every ounce of strength he had. Crowfeather could remember that from when they were kids back at the barn. And if Branch Star hadn't gotten it into his head that Branch Clan was a safer place for Crowfeather to be than Moss Clan, then Branch Star would have seen nothing wrong with using any means to justify the goal of getting Branch Feather here. Branch Feather? I was so close! And yet, since he had arrived in Branch Clan, Crowfeather hadn't expected things to turn out to be so peaceful. Branch Star had threatened to forcefully drag him down to the beach with all the might of his Branch Clan warriors behind him if Crowfeather didn't come willingly, after all. Crowfeather sighed and lashed his tail again. Out of everyone in Moss Clan, Crowfeather could probably understand the confusing threat that Branch Star had made best. Branch Star was simply trying to do what he thought was best. And why is Branch Star so hard to say? I do still miss eating a proper frog, though, Crowfeather murmured, narrowing his eyes at the sunlight. There is no sunlight. The sun has set! I wrote this scene and the sun dared to set! Dang it. Quilleye, out of my way! Branch Star shouldered his deputy aside and leaned down over Shellkit, who was trembly? Bearglow looked up from the kit, his eyes flashing as he glanced at Branch Star. He'll live. As long... Well, let's try with a better, less click and more speaking, and then a better tone for Bearglow. Alright, 2 hours later. You saved Shellkit's life, Sea Whisper purred softly as the crowd of cats around them began to disappear. She stared up at Crowfeather with bright eyes, a gentle pride radiating from her body. Crowfeather nuzzled her gently, then glanced away at the waves, his body drooping with exhaustion from the recent events and emotions. Yes, I did, but it did make me wonder how Shellkit and Robin-Kit are doing. I hadn't realized just how much I missed them, and seeing Wait, did I say Shellkit and Robin-Kit? Dang it. No, you guys aren't supposed to leave. I said nuzzle, don't walk off. Where are you going? Don't nuzzle Branch Star, for crying out loud. Wait, don't disappear. I just want this to be done now. Please.